Hi, darlings. It's me, Dear, from twitch.tv/Dear. For this Pride season, the Stream Queens are coming together to create something really beautiful. Something to let you know that you're not alone, that we all struggle, but that Pride is what unifies us and brings us together. So, please join Team Stream Queens as we celebrate Pride.
Rainbows inherently are things that only come after rain, and we as a society kind of often see rain as a bad thing. A bad day includes rain usually, or a sad music video will entail her looking out into the rain, and it's sad, but after all that sadness comes such magnificent, radiant beauty that is a rainbow, and to me, I really feel like that's representative of the queer experience. There are a lot of really dark moments, and sometimes it feels like the sun will never come out, but there always comes that moment where the sun does come out, and it hits those stormy clouds and it unleashes such a beautiful, radiant rainbow.
So when I see the rainbow, I see joyfulness, I see happiness, and I also see acceptance.
It's a symbol for the LGBTQ plus community, but I personally see it as a f you to religions who see it as a promise of peace from God, but still advocate for the removal of basic human rights and for torturing and still in some countries killing LGBTQ plus people today.
A rainbow, to me, is the universal symbol of diversity. I immediately think that we are all so different, yet so similar.
When I see a rainbow, I think of all those drawings that I did as a child of a rainbow, how rainbows bring like a childlike happiness. And I think that's what makes it a really good representation for Pride. With Pride, it's about happiness.
I think that like a lot of people, I see a rainbow and I think of all those different colors coming together, not blending each other out, but kind of representing each other in harmony.
When I see a rainbow, it makes me think of all the different identities that we have under the queer umbrella and how we all kind of come together as one. There are so many different stories and journeys and ways to be queer that one single color doesn't necessarily match all of that, but when we all come together, that's when we're the strongest.
One of the things that I love about the rainbow is how it's just so diverse in color. It's not just one plain color. There are so many different colors, and so the way they all come together and they're so different from each other is just, in my opinion, a beautiful thing.
It represents togetherness with diversity. If you see a rainbow, it's a 7 different color that is always together, and to me that represents strongly the queer community that we have. We bond through our differences but also our similarities. We're of different racial, cultural background, but it's so amazing to see that we can all come together and make a difference in the world, and I love gay people.
I think that green represents nature and what's natural. And I think that being gay or transsexual or anyone in the LGBTQIA+ is something natural that happens. And I think that that's something important to represent.
I am not wearing my favorite color today, though I am wearing yellow, representing my heritage. You know, they say Asians are yellow. We are actually golden. We are not yellow, we're golden. Remember that.
One of the first few times I started doing drag on stream, I was actually streaming Resident Evil 7 for the first time, and I remember thinking, wow, this is yikes. But the overwhelming support that I had from not only my friends that were there, but my community members that were there to support me and really helped me grow to be the queen that I am today. And they still help me grow to this day.
Probably the best experience so far, probably just recently just happened, is the Stream Queens performances on Lucille's channel. Like, that was amazing. We all came together and we all performed our little hearts out. Everyone did amazing, and that was probably one of my favorite experiences.
One of the greatest experiences in my life since starting drag and starting streaming is I get to celebrate this side of my personality every day with my girlfriend, the woman I love. And she has been so amazingly supportive. She is there helping me with my stream, being a mod for me, and seeing that our community loves her.
Being a gamer and a drag queen, it was so nice to finally find other queer individuals that I could play games with and be myself and just have a hoot.
A little over a year ago, I discovered some incredible LGBTQ content creators here on Twitch, and in fact, they were my introduction to Twitch in the first place. And I thought it was so amazing how genuinely themselves these people were being in such a non-queer predominated space. And it was just amazing to see these people really truly being themselves and queering this platform that made me so driven to want to join this platform myself.
I've been on Twitch for about 5 or 6 years now, and I started out around the FIFA community and around primarily male streamers. But over the last couple of years, as I've been exploring myself, I've always been an out and pretty proud bisexual person. But over the last couple of years, when I've explored different areas of Twitch, they've helped me come to terms with who I am.
You don't really find that in a lot of other communities. They don't just welcome you in, right? Come on in, come play games with us. And, I don't even know you, but let's get in here,
The greatest things that we as a community have done for ourselves is we've really carved out a place for ourselves in the sandbox.
And last year, through some Twitch streamers, talking through her chat about coming to terms with my non-binary and trans identity, it kind of created this safe space to talk about my gender and what it means to be trans. And then the first people I came out to as trans were actually people on Twitch.
One of the first memories that I have of drag on Twitch was when I stumbled upon Elix's page, and she, Deer, and Trashly were in Vegas, and I was really sad that I wasn't there. But no, just kidding. But that really inspired me. I really wanted that community aspect of things. And look at me now. I'm on Stream Queens with a whole bunch of siblings.
Say, I'm proud. I deserve to be here. I deserve to be playing and streaming with everyone else just as much as the next person.
I don't really do drag. I just put cosmetics on, wear silly outfits, put funky colors on my, oh my god, I am doing this.
A very special experience for me is definitely TwitchCon 2019. I got to meet so many of my Twitch friends as well as my streamer friends, and I got to meet Deer again, Trashly, and Felix again, and I got to meet Ophelia for the first time. I got to meet Hobo Haas for the first time, and it was just a magical experience.
Starting drag in my local community is one of the most special experiences I've ever had. It allowed me to not only meet a handful of people who are like me, but who are proud of their queerness, but also allow me to become proud of my queerness too and express it in an artistic way. It provided me with an artistic outlet outside of my normal day-to-day life and really allowed me to be proud of who I am and celebrate the community in a way that I had never celebrated it before.
At TwitchCon, I also got to meet my chosen family. I met them through Twitch, and my life has not been the same since. Meeting them in person for the first time ever was just the most magical thing to ever happen to me, and I'm very much grateful for that.
I have been finding so many people that struggle with mental health. That gives me closure that there's nothing wrong with that. It's so good when I have someone entering my chat that we speak about anxiety and depression and that we can understand each other. And I think it's really healthy.
I also got to meet new friends and met a lot of the LGBTQIA community on Twitch, and it was just the gayest, the most magical, the most extra. It was amazing.
Some of my favorite Pride memories that I have is performing in City Hall in San Francisco and performing for all those people that are just there to celebrate.
Pride is living free and expressing your true colors and not feeling like there's any barriers to stop you. Living your truth and living as happy as you can and spreading those good vibes.
Pride is about love. Celebrating love and celebrating who you are. When you can celebrate who you are, you can find happiness.
The definition of pride is the opposite of how I always feel. And for me, that's important to feel like I can be proud outside, which is the opposite of how I feel normally when I go outside, which is just anxious, just a big ball of anxiety and depression.
It's not just about you feeling pride, but fighting for others around you to feel pride and for your family and your friends and the people you surround yourself with to kind of help you live out that lifestyle of being proud of who you are inside yourself and externally.
Pride means being able to be myself. Pride means taking pride and take joy in who I am and who you are.
Pride is loving yourself first and showing the rest of the world.
Pride to me is something very important. It has to do with accepting yourself in ways that a lot of people will not accept, and having the guts to be able to stand up and fight for who you are, regardless of what other people think, what they'll do, how they'll act. And it gets rough. It really does get rough. And I know it's gonna sound cliche, but everything does get better with time. It really does.
When I went out to my first ever Pride in St Kilda, all the way in Melbourne, it was the first time I actually fully experienced what it's like to be around queer people and LGBT people, or just being themselves, being very proud of who they are. And that's what Pride means to me.
When we talk about a Pride March, it's saying to others that you can't make us feel horrible for who we are and fighting back against that. And it's always not just like we don't care about what other people think, but we are gonna make change and we're gonna make it better for people.
It's not just being accepting of everyone else, but it's being accepting of yourself.
Pride represents visibility. Being visible and being proud of who you are, even in a society that wants to try to take our rights away. That's what pride means.
Pride is about standing in your own truth. It is about accepting your own personal truth and not being afraid of it.
For me, pride is being able to be who I am authentically on my own terms and not having to really care about what anybody thinks.
Pride is like a celebration of history. It's a celebration of the people that came before us and that paved the way to make sure that we're able to have pride today.
Pride is being liberated, fighting tooth and nail to finally be who you are. If it's battling religion, society, whatever it may be, but to finally be free to who you are is one of the most liberating things, and to me that's what defines pride.
Pride is very much a celebration of who we are as queer people, but also a way to remember how we got here and what it took to get here. It's also a huge statement to those who are trying to oppress us that we are here, we are valid, we are not gonna go anywhere, and if you don't like it, well...
Pride is about coming together and celebrating and supporting our LGBTQ plus friends and family. It's lesbians, gays, bisexuals, trans, queer people all coming together. And it's about showing that even though we have a variety of different identities, cultures, and experiences, we can fight for what's right together. We are bigger together.
Pride is such a big concept, a way of reminding ourselves what it is that we're fighting for, and those who came before us, who fought before us, and may have died, lost their lives, spent their lives being discriminated against or marginalized so that we could have what we have today.
Pride, to me, reminds me of all of the people who have fought before us. It started as a riot, and riots are still happening, and we are fighting for rights in so many different ways. Just because we have so much more visibility now doesn't mean that our fight is over. And so yes, we have pride, and yes, we are going to keep protesting, and yes, we are going to keep fighting for the rights of everybody.
Remembering things like Stonewall, remembering things like the Pulse nightclub shooting, remembering all these people who've come before us who really paved the way for what we're able to do today. It's absolutely amazing that I'm allowed as a queer person, and I know that not all of us have this right, but I could walk right down the street here in my hometown and I'd probably get celebrated as a drag queen in broad daylight. And to think that there was a time when folks like me would have been beaten, would have been murdered, and knowing that that still happens for some of us, the job's not done.
We are queer, we're here, we are intersectional, and we are celebrating who we are because who we are is important. We deserve to exist. All queer people deserve to exist. We are here to show ourselves, be out and proud, and tell anyone who has anything else to say to fuck right off.
You are valid. You are loved. Surround yourself with people who love and care about you. Never forget to stop loving yourself, and don't let other people's opinions of your identity get you down or change your mind. You are 100% valid and always supported in this community.
People's understanding of the world is only by the perceptions to which they have experienced. And if you are someone whose identity may not match the world, the only way the world is going to know it is if you come out and spread your arms and show them, this is who I am.
If you are struggling with any aspect of your identity, I urge you to tell a friend. You might not necessarily feel that you need to, but I promise you, once you talk to someone, it will feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off your shoulders.
Definitely take your time, If you're struggling with your identity, you have all the time in the world to figure out who you are as a person. That's the whole entire deal about life, is that you experience it in your own terms. And if you're struggling, don't worry, the light will be coming. And just remember that time is definitely on your side, and you're growing and going to be blossoming into a beautiful baby.
This one means a lot to me because I have been struggling with gender for so long and finding my identity. And what I have to say to anybody that is struggling with identity or gender and trying to find your truth, I want you to do what makes you happy.
If you're struggling with your identity, just realize that you have so much time. So enjoy, explore, get to know the world, because time isn't always guaranteed to us.
If you're struggling with your identity, try different things. I'm not saying as like try to change it up, but you're gonna have to try a bunch of things to figure out which things is gonna work for you. So don't be afraid to start doing something, because if it not being 100%, you will work towards it. I believe in you.
I know a lot of people think that there are some expectations of some people and some things that people want to see, but no. I'm here to tell you, do things that you love doing, and I want you to live what you want to do. Do yourself a favor. If you want to do something for you, do it. Don't listen to someone else. Do it for you, because there's only one life we have, so live it up. Do what you want to do the damn thing.
There is no time limit. There is no time limit at all on when you should come out.
If anyone's struggling with their identity, you don't have to fit into a stereotype or a box. You are your own unique and beautiful person. And where you are right now and where you sit is exactly where you need to be. Beautiful, and you are loved.
You should come out when you are safe. And when I say safe, I mean when you are physically safe, financially safe, and emotionally safe. Those are the three most important things.
You're not gonna know who you are until you try. You got to. You're gonna try things out, not everything's gonna work, but you have to try. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
You have to be safe. You have to be ready emotionally for whatever reaction people have, but also know that there is absolutely no time frame. This is not a race. It's not about who can come out of the closet fastest. It is about making sure that you as a person are safe and you have support.
Just do it. Just do it. Just be all of you, despite the stress that may come with being different.
I think it's so important to have that support network, and it's important to have that safety net. But if you don't have it, there is no rush to come out. We are not going to judge you for staying in the closet until you are ready. This is your time. This is your decision. You make it, no one else.
Just ease yourself into it and start living your truth. Other people might not accept it right away, and that's fine. Other people might not accept it at all, and that's also fine. You don't need those people that won't accept you. You will find people who truly care about you, especially when it comes to your identity. Do not change yourself to fit anybody's idea of yourself. You do you.
I know that you've probably heard this 100 million times and might not believe it, but things are going to get better. There will come a time when you're able to not think about having to breathe or not think about getting through the next 10 seconds. You're not alone.
We really believe that you can be gay, you can be bi, you can be trans, you can be non-binary, any part of the umbrella of LGBTQIA+, you can be you.
Doesn't matter who I like. Love is love. Love is universal. Who cares if I like a boy or a girl or I like both or doesn't matter. Love doesn't have gender. Love doesn't have color. Love is universal.
Be yourself and you will be happier. If you have to do it on your own terms, then do so. That is fine. Wait until you can do it. I grew up in the rural Midwest where if I came out in high school or even in college, I would have been kicked out of the house or sent to gay conversion therapy, which is torture. So know that it's true. It does get better.
The journey you're on may not be the easiest all the time, but just continue being yourself. Continue fighting for you. You'll discover yourself in time. I know I struggled with my identity for several years, but I found support groups, I found support networks to help me, and I know that's not always possible, but do your best. Come find outlets like Twitch where you can express your queerness freely. in safe spaces like streams here on Team Stream Queens, and just keep doing you and you'll get there. I know it's hard, but you'll get there.
If you're struggling with your identity, please know that this is temporary. You're not going to be struggling forever. You will finally be able to be who you are, be your true self, and be able to share that with the world, and it'll be a beautiful thing. You want to know why it's beautiful? Because you'll inspire others to really find out who they are and be free, just like you are.
I, myself, am a non-binary advocate, and I hope that I can have others look up to me about coming forward. I've had some people talk to me about coming forward and coming out towards this goal, and they're happy that someone like me here on Twitch can be so representative for what is on the gender spectrum, because I don't just do drag, it's my art, it's my expression of gender, and I'm so happy to provide content and be an advocate for someone being non-binary, because that's what I pride myself on.
But when I finally came out and fully embraced who I am and my gender and lack thereof and all encompassing of, it really made me feel so free.
Just remember that you don't have to have it all figured out right now. Things like identities are always growing and changing based on your life experiences and the things that you go through, and I don't think anybody ever has an exact answer. If you find a term that works for you, great, stick to it. If you feel like nothing has stuck yet, then no worries. Just keep living your life and focus on being yourself first and foremost, and the rest of it will fall into place.
I want to implore you, find yourself, be honest with yourself, be honest with those around you that you can trust, that you know will love you unconditionally and support you. And if you don't have those people around you physically, find them on the internet. There are so many people on Twitch and otherwise that will love you for who you are and celebrate you for who you are.
Trans rights are human rights. Period.
We love you.
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 Stream
Pride.